Hello everyone, welcome back to Prince and Nikki's channel. Thank you for joining us today. Today we're going to bring you an update on Project Coffee, which is a project we've been showcasing on our channel and is a project that we have been building through our construction company, which is on the screen, the contact number, PND Construction Limited. This video is going to talk to you about what we've been doing over a period of the last few weeks. Primarily, this video shows around the external plastering and the ongoing progression of the fence wall at the front of the home. If you are new to the channel today, I just want to give you a big hi and welcome and thank you for joining us. I'm sure you'll be pleased to join us and see a number of projects on our channel. A little bit about the project that we're showcasing today. This is Project Coffee. This is a 5-bedroom home which is in Amanfrom, which is on Grey City Phase 3. The home itself is 8,800 square feet. So as we get into the video, you will start to see us taking the different steps as we continue with the external plastering. With this particular plastering, our client specification was that they wanted high quality sand, which wasn't in the area. Therefore, we had to go a bit further afield to get the materials that we use on our own home.
Yes, so we have to go and get our plastering and smooth sand all the way from Ada, which is twice the price that you would get in the area. We were told of a sand from Asaman, but the client insisted that we keep to the specification. So yeah, it's very expensive to get a sand all the way from Ada, but yeah, the quality, you can see that this is a proper plastering sand, smooth sand, and river sand. So I think at the end, if you see the quality of the plastering when it began to dry, it was worth the extra money that the client has spent.
Yeah. So you'll notice on this side here, you'll see that we have the design at the top of the home, the parapet. That was put on just slightly before, wasn't it, in terms of that?
Yeah, so that the client again is the same design that the client wants the fence wall and the coping to match. So when the fence wall is all finished, it will be the same design. Actually there are a few details on that design, but you can't see because it's very high up. So that coping, the width is about 10 inches, which will be higher than what would be on the fence wall, about 8 inches. But because it's high, you can see it. So that was molded on site, and then it was fixed. Then the top is cast, so you get a full coping, benefit of the coping, and then also the design.
Yeah. So you can see the guys here, they start working their way around the building. The scaffolding was one of our challenges as well this time around, wasn't it?
My God. I think it's because when we were putting the budget together for the client in December, we went around the area and asked how much are they scaffold, because as you know, we want to move stuff around. I believe the scaffold allow you to be more flexible than doing bamboo and 2x4 and all those fixed scaffolding. So these mobile scaffolds, and then we went to rent it. We were told a room, which so each of the where the guys stand, call it a room, is about 60 cities. So we will base our budgets on that. And in the new year, when Mike went back to rent, they said, "Oh, no, he has now gone up. It's 90 cities. So how can he go up that way?" Oh, the best we can do is 80 cities. So no, that was just too much, because the amount of days that we allowed to do this plastering, if we want to raise that scaffold at that price, we will spend over 50,000 cities just on scaffolding. So as you see that lorry that at the beginning, we have to go and get a scaffold all the way from Tema, which was cheaper, even including the transport, and just to bring it over here.
But at least we didn't have the challenge with the roofing tiles where we got stuck this time.
Oh yeah, oh my God, don't go about that. Don't go about
If you haven't seen a video already on our channel when we got the roofing tiles delivered for here, there was a bit of a drama
the
of
daily
getting
hustle, yeah.
the hustle of getting the roofing tiles. That was fun. So, but yeah, I mean, they're making good progress.
Yeah, the good thing about where we got the scaffolding from is that you rent it and you pay for the delivery. So they're responsible for the transport from A to B.
Yeah.
So when we finish, we just got to tell them we finish, and then we'll come and take it. You just pay for the transport. That is the good part about it. But it's just shocking that you can go all the way down,
Further away.
bringing things
Yeah.
off Tema. Even we come around Medina area, where we can get it cheaper. We verify all those areas. It was still relatively expensive than getting it from Tema. And I guess because you got more choice in Tema, so it's demand and supply. So yeah.
But I do think as well, when you have the proper scaffold frames, the stability for the workers, I think they'll spend more time on the design, the smoothing and stuff, because it's more secure. So I personally think it does give a nice finish on the building, because they're not hanging and trying to swing around things.
Also, this building, because it got so many overhangs, the overlays, moving the scaffold back and forth and doing all those things, this allowed that flexibility. Because when you were pricing this, me and Mike was discussing, we by 1 week we will finish the external plastering. 2 weeks we're still in. We need another week just to finish the external.
Yeah.
Because of the challenges of dealing with all the overhangs and all the details, be that you need to make sure you get right.
Yeah. So with this plastering, we've used sika waterproofing additive. There are two different types that we use for different parts of the projects. The sika products, we do sell them and stock them. It is a worldwide renowned product, and it's been tested widely, so it's commonly known on the market.
Yeah, as I said, we stock all the Sika products that we use on our project. We are a name distributor for Sika in Ghana. And as I said, on our own projects, Nikki mentioned earlier, we use the same product, Sika waterproof additive, because all your external plastering needs to be waterproof. If you live in a house somewhere in Europe or in America that is rented, they will use the term rented, plastering is that exposed element is waterproof. So in order to make sure your plastering is waterproof, that's also help with the rise in damp and all those things. You need to use the right additive. Also, it's not just buying the additive; it's following the instruction.
Yeah.
Make sure you use
And
the
that's
right instruction.
Yeah, and that's where our guys have been trained with them, and they've got the certification for doing that. But if you do want to see how well the product works alongside the other methods that we use in terms of building constructions, whereby we've used DPM and DPC, you can go over to our channel on our playlist and look at our other projects. Our own Prince and Nikki project, we're like 3 years in now. So if you want to compare and see 3 years down the line what they were, the walls internal and external at different stages, you can see that, the work talks for itself. You can see that on there. With the waterproofing products, there are steps that you can take if you're on the beginning of your building journey. So if you're wanting to ensure at all different stages that you're not going to have any problems in the future with rising damp or things, if you're now at your foundation stage, what you need to do is make sure that you are using damp proof membrane DPM, and then when you are starting your block work, you need to lay DPC after your slab, between your slab and your first block, to make sure that that stops any water from that level underneath, so there's no water that can rise up the wall and cause capillary action, which is where you get your damp on the walls.
I think it's one of the questions most people ask us is, what do I need DPC after I've used DPM? You need a DPC because the slab is always cold. So that cold of the slab over time that moisture can transfer through capillary action and come down the wall. So that's why you need the DPC. All this we talk about is nothing new. It's in the Ghanaian building code, Ghana building regulation. All these stuffs are there. So when you are working, you have to ask your contractor about these stuffs. Make sure that they are following the code. Those stuffs are in the building code. Just that majority of people don't follow them, but they are there.
Yeah, and also if you are at foundation stage and you're using DPM, just make sure that once you've done the compacting, that you do a thin layer of sand blending. That will help stop any piercing of the DPM. So as I said, these things that you're doing in foundation level will be a first level of protection. And then when you come to the stage where we are now with the plastering, what we do here is we use the two different waterproof additives. So where you see the line on the screen where they've done the plastering and it ends, in the plaster itself, we add a waterproof additive. And then below that line, right from the DPC downwards, we use a sika latex.
Yeah, so the sika latex is superior to to bitumen. It's superior to bitumen. It's acrylic product, so if you apply it and it dry, it's like a rubber protection. So it's, you can see how it reacts instantly. So because it's acrylic, there's no soft water can penetrate that and come and appear and give you the issues that you typically have of flaking walls and all those, and you won't have it. Yes, we have developed some ways, some techniques in terms of applying that, because it's not a product that you can just apply and just do your plastering. We try and test the methods. We find what works for us best is to do the plastering, leave just a block above the DPC, and then come back and then apply that, let it dry, and then the plastering. Because when you do normal plastering, you put the plaster on the wall sucks the water from the mortar, so it dries quickly, it sticks to the wall quickly. That process, in about an hour, 45 minutes to an hour, you can start finishing the plaster. But when you use latex, what happens is that you don't have that protection against the wall, the water. How do you call it? The wall does not suck the water from the mortar, so it takes time to dry. So if you are using this product, at first your masons will be telling you, "Oh, madam, the product is not drying." It's not drying. It's that chemical reaction that it takes time to dry. So what we do is to make sure that you don't slow the work down. We go around, leave these ones. You'll see in the video when those are being applied. Then it's a day's job for two people to go around and just finish that, because when you do it in the morning, you got to leave it out in the evening before you dries, but the product works as it's meant to
Yeah,
be.
I mean, we tested it out when we did our own. You can see the guy now, he's just making sure that any lumps and bumps scraped off to make sure that it's very well done.
Yeah, you need to make sure the surface is well clean. Those are the instructions. The surface needs to be clean of any loose, any debris. It needs to be clean. So this guy is going around. Our chief painter, Richard, is going around. Richard's been trained by the sika, so he knows exactly what is required. And so this is well scraped. You need to scrape any flakes off. It's got a wire brush. You go around, make sure everything is tidy, is clean before you apply this, because if you got loose sand, debris and stuff on the wall, you apply it, it's not going to stick to the wall. So that process needs to be done correctly.
So yeah, once this the latex is put on, as Prince said, and the plastering's done on top, you'll see later in the video, you can see a slight difference in where it is. But once you've done the plastering, we always say just do a whitewash. Do a whitewash of the building. That protects the building as well. So you don't, it might look like there's a slight difference, but once it's had that one coat of whitewash, it's perfectly fine.
Yeah, you can see the fence wall is also coming along nicely. All the arches are coming up. I think this is the amount of blocks we've used here. Finish one house. Yeah, we so far for this front wall alone, we use 4,300 blocks so far. So it's a lot of blocks work which is here.
Yeah, but it's a lovely feature design that he's wanted, the client. I'm pleased with how it's come along.
It is a huge feature column system, because each of those columns average like 135 blocks, excluding the concrete that is in. So
Yeah. If you do want to look at the fence wall, you can see the video that was posted prior to this last. That was about the fence wall as well, so you can see that.
yeah, I think people were asking us how we were gonna deal with it. We're gonna block it or just use concrete, but now it's all coming along. So here you can see Richard is now applying the latex to the bottom of the foundation. So this is just about one custom block above the DPC. So when all this is done and it dries up, then the guys will just do the plastering. What's also important is of all these products you buy is that you have to follow the instruction given to you, particularly when you're talking about the additives. You got to follow the mixing ratio, because if I tell you the amount of cement we have used on this work so far, people will say, you're using too much cement. Why are you adding too much cement? But that is a specification for the product you are using. That is what the specification you're working to require. So you just got to follow it. There's no way trying to do and say, oh, let's use a bit more sand and let the cement go far. You got to keep to the specification.
Yeah, you can really see here from this angle the slope. So if you look at the building, the right hand side is a higher level, and then it grades slightly down to the left hand side. So all of the stages when we've been doing this home, we've obviously prepared long term. So when you're doing your project, or if we're building for you, and we always look at the land level, we make sure that we build the foundation to a certain level to make sure that you always need to have your DPM and DPC a certain height above your finishing. So if you're going to do any filling, obviously you need to take that into consideration when you're doing your foundation, and also have it graded down towards the future road.
Yeah. I think what you point you mentioned there is a filling, because as you can see, the way that plastering is, you can see the plastering is cut at the bottom. Because what we don't recommend is doing the plastering all the way to the bottom, of what you can see now. Then you fill against it. So our level is already taken. So the guys do the plastering is just finished above where you're gonna do your filling, because there's no need to finish your plastering to the way then you fill it with earth. So all those things you said, the road, everything needs to be factored in when you do your setting out. Then everything just flows from there.
Yeah, so it's important that you, as you're going through, you have you fully project managing each stage, and that when you were doing the foundation, you already had that vision of when you're at this stage, how it's all going to come together. In this particular building, there is actually some steps at the front there. It's not a big jump into the home. There are steps going
Yeah,
in,
because the feelings is gonna come when all is done.
because it's really important that you do all that planning ahead, so that when you come to filling, you don't want to find you're having a problem whereby you're doing the filling and you're losing steps, or your home becomes shorter and your windows become almost at the floor. You can have a different issues, as well as obviously the damp and stuff that can come up the walls from the water. So just make sure that it's well thought out and well planned as you're going along.
Another way to avoid all that is to ask your designer, your structural engineers to put the levels on your drawings, to put the existing levels and the finished level required on the drawing, so the builder knows those levels. I must say, it's not every drawings that you get from Ghana that shows those levels, but if you require those levels, you know a bit more about the building. Ask the questions. They have to go to the site, do the survey, and put those levels on the drawing, and then work together with the Ghanaian building codes and know that your house needs to be higher than the road. So what Dickie said is right. We see so many instances whereby people finish a house, then they do filling, then they lose 2, 3 steps. But if you're gonna need 3 steps, you're gonna need 2 steps. You need to factor all those things when you were doing the foundation. You got to take those levels. It's not that when you finish, and so how many steps do we need? You need to know this building, I need 2 or 3 steps to go at the right time when you were doing the foundation.
Yeah, and I think where we have people call us up to work on some of the refurbishment projects, and some of the problems that people are having in existing buildings is slightly to do with the land level, isn't it? And the external works, where there's been some problems there. So you can see here, obviously, the columns and the feature are looking great. Most of the plastering's been done. Obviously, you see the angled parts and the features on the front of the house. They
Yeah,
need to be done very slowly and meticulously, making sure that the angles are maintained. These angles themselves are at a certain degree. So we need to make sure that that is carried through with the plastering as well.
Yeah, I think it's those angles, those feature designs. The challenge we have with them because they are fair face finish. If I say fair face finish, that's what in construction we refer to a finish that is very very smooth. Because of the smoothness, when we come to do the plastering, the amount of plastering we need against these stuff, so that will work. If you were to be around here, you would have used rendering board, whereby you fit those rendering board to it, and that would be it. So we have come out with another way whereby it's effectively a scheme by the guys who do POP by using PVA and cement. They just do a live scheme because the worry we had was that if we put uh, uh, 1 inch plaster on that, what years that if the bonding will fail in 5 6 years time, you don't know. So to avoid that, we find a way that we 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 avoid that issue completely.
Yeah, we always have discussions with the relevant professionals involved. So obviously, where we're looking at bonding and waterproofing, we speak to our team to think about the best process so that it's not going to be having problems in the future.
Yeah, I think it's one of the things that I supposed to seek about the bonding. They said, you can use the latest, but when we use the latest, I think it's because the fair face finish, it was just too smooth. And in some cases, you can just try to print it that we do a filler. But I think what we have done, you see now, it's all looks good. I think the guy did a fantastic job because I think one of the skills are people that come from Togo to Ghana is that they've got a lot of experience of dealing with things like this.
Yeah.
So once I spoke to the guy, you know exactly what we need to do.
Yeah, I must say from this angle, you get a real nice view of the property and the land around. But also, I just want to shout out the roofing tiles. The roofing looks so nice. I'm really pleased with the finish. When you're up close on it and you see the actual design and it whole complete, because this roof actually sits on a flat slab, which we've had to put a lot of thought in terms of making sure that it's fully waterproof. There's excessive amount of drains on there. Lots of different sika products have gone in there, but also the roof itself has got a full guttering system to make sure that it's as best can be in terms of waterproofing, because we are very much aware of issues with water on the roofs and stuff in Ghana. But I'm really happy of how it's coming out, and particularly the angles on these kind of feature columns. As Prince said, it did take a long time, much more than predicted for the plastering. As you can see, you've got multiple angles coming down and up. Then you've got tall, slim feature block work. You above on the front of the right there, you'll see there's 5 slim features as well that needed to be done. So there's a lots of ins and outs and different angles, but it looks really sharp. So I'm really hopeful that the client's pleased with it.
Yeah, I think it's all this. We're still not finished yet because we still got snaggings to do. We got pieces to do. We got another week. We got about a week worth just on the external plastering to do. We got the internal parts of the balconies to do, the top to do, the roof to do. So there is an additional week of work to do with all the snags we got to do to make sure everything is 100% as we expect it to be. So this is work in progress. And I'm glad of how it's coming. It's a lot of time and thinking has gone to this to make sure we're progressing as things should be. Any little thing that is not right, Mike's make sure it's been
Yeah.
redone.
I mean, you can see even on this angle here on the left there, you can see there's a difference in the plaster. That's because we made them take it out and do that little corner again. We are heavy on the snagging. We might not be close, but we are very
The video calls.
involved. We have multiple calls on a daily basis. We're heavily involved in the building process. And as I say, Prince goes out there regularly as well to check on the projects. He's a professional. He works with different professionals in the team. We've got engineers, we've got the QS side, we've got the project management. So it all comes together and you don't have to be on site at that particular skill set.
Yeah, it's leading from the front. I think it's even here, the work I do. I don't go to site every day. It's making people who are on site understand their responsibility and what needs to be done. And with the video calls, me and Mike are on the same ecosystems, iPhone, you FaceTime, make sure you see things that are happening in real life. If you don't understand something, they call you, you talk through the issues. So sometimes I go through the week, I don't get videos because I'm seeing what is happening.
Yeah, but also, wasn't it? It was a few days ago. I said to Mike something wasn't looking particularly great. What I was seeing, he's like, "How did you see that, Nicola? I didn't see that." So yeah, it's quite funny
Yeah.
actually. But I mean, yeah, we work nice as a team, and we've been going together for what 3 years now, isn't it?
Yeah,
So
I
it's
think
been a long time.
this building has been a challenge. I think it's the design to make sure everything is coming together as the design intent. I think it's a lot has gone into it, and I'll say a big shout out to our carpenter. We use a steel bender, which is great, who understand drawing, because what we have found is it's not every steel bender that understands the drawing. So it's good that you get somebody who understands this drawing. There was no single beam in this building which was the same. The the element, the iron rod component of each beam is different. There are some you got 12 in it, some you got 8 in it, and then there are some places you got 20 mm, you got 12 mm, you got 10 mm because of the loading. I think it's when we do this foundation that the footing for the that big column, the one goes up. People will say, "Why are you digging that big foundation?"
Yeah, it was
But
a big one, wasn't
it's
it?
because now you see why you
Yeah.
need that footing.
Yeah, I mean, it's taken us, obviously, we've worked for 3 years closely with the different individuals. Obviously, what is it, like 18 months or something? We
Yeah.
started the company to make sure we've got that level of reassurance for the clients that we're taking on. And we've always said that we want to grow slow and steady and bring quality. We have restricted ourselves in terms of making sure we only build so many projects at a time. Where there's gaps and phases, we will bring in other projects. We will be bringing a new project to the channel in the next probably week or two. They are on site doing the work. We will put some videos together and bring you that new project. And we've also got some updates on Project Royal View as well. For that, that's at the decking stage as well.
Yeah, currently the decking is the reinforcement is actually finished today. So next week there'll be plumbing and electrical stuff due. So towards the end of middle of the month, I'll say the casting should be done. But that is another hell of a casting that it's
Yeah,
supposed
it's
to
a
be.
mighty big
It's a
project.
mighty. So I think 4 or 5 days with 2 machines. It's
Yeah. What we hope to do is try to bring you projects on the channel at different stages. So obviously these are at this kind of level. Then we've got Royal View, which is at the decking of, I've even lost track of what level we're on because there's so many levels because it's a mountain view. Obviously we've got the new project that we're going to start bringing into the channel to show those of you who are starting to build and at the foundation stage. So we're going to bring you a different variety on the channel, but let us know in the comments what you think of the project today, how you feel about the discussions that we've had, and let us know if there's something that we've missed and you want us to talk about on the channel. For those of you who are interested in the channel and what we're bringing, do hit the subscribe button, like our video and comment just to keep the channel growing and help us to know that you're enjoying the content. We are trying our best to do videos, but we are working very hard and making sure that we bring the best quality for the projects that we're building on. For those of you who do want some of the products that we sell, we get a number of purchases during the week. We do have a shop which is on the Tema Akosombo Road. So if you want to give us a call on our WhatsApp number on the screen, then you can also make contact to visit our store. In the store, obviously, you can see our roofing sheets that we purchased directly from China. They are a superior product, but you can see them in person yourself and the samples. They're different colours, different styles, and obviously the Sika waterproofing products, DPM and more. So get in contact if you do want any of those materials. If you are interested in design or us for building for you, give us a shout and we'll endeavour to be able to work with you on your own project. Thank you for watching us today, and we'll see you in the next video.
Yeah, see you. I think I just love this side of the house, isn't it? It's just fantastic.
He's dreaming here. He wants to build another house, guys.
No, I cannot afford this house.
All right. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
See you soon. Bye.